It has been written of James Woods that he projects menace on screen and on stage like few other contemporary actors. He is a rare talent who makes everything he does worth watching, and his latest film is the controversial Indictment, The McMartin Trial, which debuts this Saturday at 8 p.m. on HBO. Thank you for coming in. You know that I'm an enormous fan, and I'm happy you're here tonight.
Thank you. Now you've ruined me, because just before we went on, I said, I want to torture you tonight because you're dressed like Paladin. I mean, you're just like the Antichrist or something, you know, like some priest in black, you know. A, and B, here's a tip, okay? Here's a little tip about television.
Okay.
You come on, you whine for like an hour about the rating system, and then you proceed to show like barbecue pictures, okay? People don't want to watch barbecues of like their own family. Why would they want to watch your barbecue? And the only thing you're worried about is your hairdo. Like anybody's looking at that when they can look at all those onions and steaks, you know? By the way, I've known Tom for years and I love him, so I can tease him. But I mean, remember Paladin, that show? Guy dresses in black color and shoots people for money? It's great. It's good. I mean, you look like a cleric from hell or something, you know? How many angels dance on the head of a pin, Tom? Trust me on this. I'm tired. I can't talk to you. Go ahead.
And now I have to talk about the McMartin case.
Yes, go ahead.
After you make a complete idiot out of me, okay? I thought the pictures were charming. I like to let folks in on what we do.
They were barbecue pictures. Why don't you go to the beach sometime and show all those nice seashell pictures? That'll be good. I'm telling you that. You pulled out those pictures. You want to know about ratings? There were so many people channel surfing. The second you did that, there was like a tsunami of video going on out there, okay? People are watching fishing videos now after that. You know, here's my barbecue shot. Isn't it a shame about the ratings? Yeah. Yeah. Here's a big clue. And you're worried about your hairdo, okay? You're worried about your hairdo.
Obviously, you're not worried about yours, yeah.
Okay? There's hair in a can over here, and he's worried about it. Okay. Anyway, now, more seriously, you're a good man. You're a good man.
You play the role in this picture of Danny Davis, who is the attorney who defended Raymond Buckey in this case involving the alleged molestations in California in 1983. Okay. This is not an easy role because there are many people who, to this day, believe that these people got away with murder at this school. I happen to think that they were innocent after all was said and done. Right. But I'm wondering if you came to this picture with one mindset, Jim, and that something changed as you did the role, as you studied the case.
Well, it's a very good question, because a lot of people will say to me when I've said I've done indictment and it's about the McMartin trial and so on, they say, God, are those people still in jail? And I go, well, no, and neither is Phyllis Diller, because neither of them committed a crime. You know, and I mean, I say it frivolously because it was so depressing to work on this subject, to be honest with you. It was just so difficult to think about how the children were abused, if not by the McMartin and Buckey families, which they simply were not. Those people were found innocent after the most grueling investigation of the facts.
Longest trial in the history of the country.
In the history of the world. There was never a trial that lasted 7 years. Maybe, did the Nuremberg trials last 7 years? No.
No.
7 years. $22 million. Ray Buckey spent 5 years in jail, accused of a nonviolent crime as a first-time alleged offender without benefit of habeas corpus. Spent more time in jail awaiting trial than did the man who murdered Polly Klaas for any crime he committed. Okay? Pretty serious consideration when you think about it. These children, I think, were abused by the process, by the circumstances of very concerned parents, by the way. And what's sad about this subject is that if you take the side of the McMartin-Buckey family, which I have to, because they were acquitted. I mean, they were not convicted of any of the 208 counts that were filed.
We say we believe in the presumption of innocence to prove guilty, and the jury said these people are not guilty.
Right,
okay.
Right. And it wasn't like it was some quick kangaroo trial. I mean, it was, you can't imagine the amount of, quote, person power, manpower that was put into looking into hard evidence against these people. There was not one shred of it. On the other hand, I understand what it was like for the parents who were faced with these allegations from a letter from the Manhattan Beach Police Department, alleging abuse on the basis of one complainant who was later diagnosed as a paranoid schizophrenic, and they proceeded to send out a letter saying, your child may have been molested, look for redness of the bottom, blah, 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 without 1 minute of investigation. So it was a tragedy all around, because newspapers wanted to sell copy and TV shows wanted to make money.
Well, the transition compounded by the media, notably one reporter, the late Wayne Satz of Channel 7 here in Los Angeles, who was on the air, I'm told, night after night with sensational allegations that were later disproved.
Right, and not only that, he was also involved in an intimate sexual relationship with one of the key witnesses in the case, an unlicensed social worker named Key McFarland, who, you know, allegedly was a child abuse expert, still testifies before Congress, was responsible for testimony recently that put a man in jail for life in the Carolinas in the Little Rascals case, and in fact literally has no training whatsoever in this area other than a liberal arts degree, and is an unlicensed social worker.
I say this picture is controversial because it's under attack from the feminists. It's under attack from various organizations that are set to protect children against being molested in this way, and that's understandable. They would rather not have this idea put in the minds probably of people who would potentially violate a child, and you're taking some criticism. The producers, Oliver Stone, is taking a lot of criticism for this picture.
Well, you know, sometimes I take criticism as a badge of honor. I mean, if Gloria Steinem, who has not seen this program, decides that she, you know, as a champion of children's rights, because of course she contributed so much to the American nuclear family over the past 25 years, if she, you know, in her male-bashing, aging spinsterhood and hatred of males, and therefore, I guess the family.
Don't
excuse me. I'm not going to hold back.
Don't hold,
that's what you're about to say. Okay. If she has something to say against this, and you know, I'll use her usually good informed judgment, you know, as a badge of honor that I disagree with her, because she has not investigated the facts of this case. We have done it as thoroughly, I think, as anything could be done in a circumstance like this. The lawyers for HBO vetted this script with a fine-tooth comb. There is not, you know, anything in here that is not from the transcript of the trial. The facts are presented as they are. We hope they're as accurate as they can be. Certainly every effort possible has been made to do so, and the story has been told. I understand the emotions of the case. I understand people suffered, but the fact of the matter is we have a constitution in this country, and it must be acknowledged.
That's correct.
And it was raped by the media in this case.
And by the way, this is a picture, as you say, about an historic trial in terms of its length, its cost, and its effect on people on both sides of the aisle. Right. I want to show a little clip here where you and Raymond Buckey, I believe, confront each other for the first time, in which you convey to him your sentiments on how difficult a case, how difficult a trial this is going to be for both you as his attorney and he as the alleged perpetrator.
I think actually this clip is once it's later in our process of preparing for the trial, where I'm trying to get him to talk about the difficulties of being an alleged child molester.
Okay, this is from the HBO motion picture. Here it comes.
How to perform sex acts.
You're gonna have to talk to me. You're gonna have to tell me everything.
You saw my sister. Who could say that about her?
Ray, you're gonna have to talk to me. You're gonna have to tell me everything, because I'm not gonna stand in front of that court with my in my hand, waiting for them to throw things at you. Now talk to me.
I said, and I mean, that there will be no surprises. There's nothing.
You know, this is not a frat initiation at San Diego State. There are gonna be little children on that stand saying that they were hurt. You have got to be ready for that.
Who could be ready for that?
Hurt by you and your sister.
What do you want me to do? I
can't
make things up.
All right.
This, as I say, premieres on HBO on Saturday night. You'll check the listings in your city for the time and the cable position. Back with James Woods and your calls at 800-952-2788 after these messages.